Yeah, what's going on, guys? OTB Spreads coming to you guys live here on July 22nd. Midweek run up, man. Feels good to be back. Feels good to be back in the winner circle, cashing big, guys. Cashed a plus 2,000 home run parlay. We had Shea Langeliers and CJ Abrams cash it. Cashed our top play of the day in Tampa Bay Rays. That was absolutely belt to ass blowout winner. We also had a hitter prop cash. I mean, the list went on yesterday. We absolutely ran the board on the MLB slate. So, guys, if you want the premium plays, just jump on in. Go to the descriptions tab, click on the winnable link. You can use code word EDGE today to sign up, lock in, and let's win the day. But without further ado, before we get into today's slate, today's show brought to you by Novig. Spin 5, get 50. Use code word on the ball for Novig. All right, guys, that'll be in the descriptions tab as well, along with the Onyx odds sign up where you can get 200 in bonus bets. Guys, capitalize on this, man. I can't stress it enough how important it is to use bonus bets. Don't be lazy. Don't be that fucktard. I'm be honest with you guys. It's an easy way to make money. I'm going to show you guys on my Instagram this week how I am going to turn $50 from Polymarket into over 1,000. Guys, how I built my bankroll was through bonus bets. I know that the books aren't as giving as they used to be, but back during the COVID days, man, you had Caesars giving away 1,000, you had FanDuel giving away 750, or you had these books. I remember Fanatics they matched up to $1,000 in losing bets. So I would chase down, 2-3 leg parlays with $100 wager on them. And I knew I had that coming back, and I just had to get right the second time. And guys, bonus bets, those type of comps, they're extremely important in this industry. So when you find them, use them and play them wisely. When I say I'm turning my 50 into 1,000, I didn't parlay it today. I went Tampa Bay Rays with the $50 on it. Now that's worth just shy of $100. I'm going to take that 100 tomorrow and I'm going to roll it into something else. I'm going to build it up over a 7-day stretch and it's going to hit $1,000. All right, that's what we're going to do. And highly recommend you lock in, man. My play of the day is probably what I'm going to target to do that. So let's see what we can do this week, what type of damage we can run. There is 11 days left. I have a goal in mind. I want to have a very profitable month. We've been dancing right around 50%. I want to get that win rate up around 70% to close this month out. So going to have to go on a run here, guys. So let's get into it and let's start with the show. Let's see what type of damage we can do for you guys for the free. Yesterday we finished just over 500 on the full slate, but overall it was a good day. Like I said, our top plays cashed. And that goes from the Nats over total to the Detroit Tigers and Cubs total. All of those plays, we played a lot of totals yesterday, and the totals really came through in the clutch. I think the books respected the pitchers a little bit too much for what their trends have been. And we're going to start with this first game here. It's a little scary to pick a side. Reason being, Mitch Keller has not played well at all in his last 10 starts. Hasn't had a good outing in over 10 games, giving up multiple earned runs. He's given up almost 15 earned runs in his last 5 starts. Then you got Garrett Cole, who's an ace for the Yankees. Excuse me, an ace for the Yankees, but not playing like one, right? In his last 5, he's given up 5, 4, 3, 3, and 2. Like, he hasn't looked good at all either in his last couple starts. So for me, this is a game where I really don't want to be a part of the side. I do think Yankees get it done just because how bad Mitch Keller has been. I would give the over the first 5 innings a look. I think that Mitch Keller or Garrett Cole, whichever side comes out and hits the ball a little bit harder, a little bit better, is going to be the one to get out to an early lead. I could see this thing having 5, 6 runs in the first couple innings. So I would give a look to the first 5 on the over total. I don't believe both of these pitchers are going to come out and play well. If there's one side that I think has a better outing, it's going to be Garrett Cole. I trust the Yankees bats a little bit more right now. They've kind of heated up here recently, but there is still a run differential edge to the Pirates at +1.5, and they have hit righties extremely well over the last 30 days. I would lean the side to the Yankees, but this is one I'm not willing to pay the juice. So I'll take that off my list. I'll just tell you guys to go ahead and give a look at the over 4.5, over 5 runs in the first 5 innings. All right, that's the lean on that one, guys. And Blowout Alert, if you guys don't know, Blowout Alert is also in the descriptions tab. You can sign up for free. I gave away a free play today for anybody who was a free subscriber. All you had to do was DM me on Instagram or be in the free chat for Blowout Alert. And that is on the Blowout Alert Instagram page. So just go ahead and look that up, guys. Once again, we gave that out. It was over 4.5 total runs in the Detroit Tigers and Cubs game. And they cashed out in the first inning, 6 runs in the first inning. Easy win, easy cash. Valdez hasn't pitched well, and neither has Pedersen, man. Both those guys have been giving up a lot of earned runs early in ball games, and that trend is going to continue whenever you see those guys on the mound. So that was an easy read for us. All right, next one up, though, it's going to be Baltimore Orioles taking on the Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox hold a 15-point engine edge in this one, where they got Jake Bennett on the mound. New, young, up-and-coming pitcher, looked great in his last outing. 6 innings pitched, only 1 hit, giving up 0 earned runs. Looked really sharp, man. This Baltimore Orioles team, they are streaky with the bats, but look, the bats for the Red Sox have been absolutely on fire. Run differential of +2. I think that they have the better starting pitcher here in Bennett. We don't have a huge dose of what he has done, but Dean Kremer, 6.18 on the FIP to a 2.91 here in the starting pitcher edge. I'm going to have to go with Jake Bennett and the Red Sox here on the money line at -144. I'll lay the juice in this one. Next one up, we got the New York Mets taking on the Brewers. Brewers here, they have Logan Henderson taking on Christian Scott. This isn't a side that I'm thrilled to be on if I'm paying the juice, just for the simple fact that Christian Scott has looked outstanding. He looked great against the Phillies last week. I think he comes out and has another good outing here. It's just you can't trust the Mets bats, man. You really can't. They've been one of the more unprofitable teams in the MLB this year, betting on them on the money line. Even when they do steal those plus money wins, it's just not outweighing with how often they're losing. This is a team I just can't trust. I can't back up. I think Logan Henderson, with what he's done over his last 10 games, is respectable enough to go out there, give a good start, even if they're playing from behind. I think the Brewers bullpen can hold up against the Mets bats late in this game. They can find some runs against the Mets bullpen and get a win. Give me the Brewers here on the money line at -138. Not a favorite play for being a big Brewers believer, but I think that they can get it done. If it was any other pitcher other than Christian Scott, I'd be all over the Brewers, but also the books would have a different line as well. So give me the Brewers here. -138. I think that they do get it done. They edge this thing out by 1 or 2 runs, and they get the win. All right, guys, next one up, we got San Francisco Giants taking on the Kansas City Royals. You got Ladden Roop on the mound taking on Seth Lugo. Neither of these pitchers been hot. They've been it's a stable of inconsistency all season long. You got the San Francisco Giants, so their bats are working right now. +3 on the run differential. I will say Lugo has played better at home than he has on the road. He carries a sub-4 ERA at home versus on the road where it's a 6.12. Here for me, though, it's the San Francisco Giants -116. It's a fairly even price game, implied probability right around a coin flip. I want to be on the side where the better pitcher and Ladden Roop, better strikeout stuff, can go out there and get it done tomorrow. I think you can keep these hot Kansas City bats off the board. I believe the bats for the Giants are a little bit hotter. We've seen the home run power start to heat up with some guys like Adames, Devers. See if those guys can continue to hit the ball really well. They also have Casey Schmidt in the lineup. He can go yard. A couple other guys, when they're really hitting it well, they can stretch the ball out, even Bryce Eldridge. So let's dive in and see where this one goes. For me, it would be the San Francisco Giants. I would fade the Royals in this spot. They've just been too inconsistent for me when it comes to their bullpen and their starting pitchers. So give me the Giants -116. Next one up, we got the Washington Nationals taking on the Colorado Rockies. You guys know I love this Nationals team. Their offense is great. Can't trust the bullpen, though. I think the look here would be the money line on the first 5 innings with Cade Cavalli, who's been one of the more profitable pitchers in the MLB this season. 8-point engine edge to the Nats. They have a better record and they play better at home. Recent run differential is +2.5. I just can't fade. I can't fade the Washington Nationals here. Gabriel Hughes, yeah, he had a respectable outing in his last go. 5.5 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs given up. But for me, these bats are the type of bats in Coors Field that can get after Gabriel Hughes. I trust the Nationals in this spot. C.J. Abrams, James Woods, Dalen Lilly, Luis Garcia, the list goes on. So just give me the Washington Nationals here on the money line, -132, as well as the first 5 innings. And we'll keep this one moving into the next one. We got the Oakland A's taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And for me, guys, you really know how I feel about Merrill Kelly. I do not like the way Merrill Kelly has played this season. I know it's only showing us his last outing where it was a definitely a bump in what he has done this season. Only 4 hits, giving up 1 earned run, but that's not been the case for him. He's been getting peppered all season long. Gage Jump has played really, really well this season. Overall, I think he has better strikeout stuff. As you can see, 15 Ks in his last 2 starts. This Arizona Diamondback team, they haven't hit lefties as well as they did in the month of June. They've kind of cooled off with that. I trust that they can get this done. I know the Arizona Diamondbacks do hold over the last 10 a significant edge on the run differential, but that's also because the Oakland A's went cold with some of their guys like Soderstrom out. I know Nick Kurtz is not going to be playing tomorrow as well, but for me, it's the Oakland A's here on the money line at -102. I believe they can get this done against the Diamondbacks team that does play better at home, but Merrill Kelly's on the mound. I think that these bats can get after the Diamondbacks today with Langeliers, with Jacob Wilson, with guys like that in that lineup. They hit the ball really well. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Oakland Athletics pull away early and win this thing easily. So give me the A's here, -102. Next one up, we got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Seattle Mariners, where you got Emerson Hancock on the mound taking on Brady Singer. Brady Singer plays much better at Great American, not so much on the road. We know the Mariners are a phenomenal team in T-Mobile Ballpark. Emerson Hancock, 2 really good outings in his last 2 starts. We'll just take a quick look at that. 0 earned runs in his last 2. Strikeout stuff hasn't really been there, but he's been giving some really solid outings. So give me Emerson Hancock, the Seattle Mariners. I believe they can get it done today against a guy like Brady Singer, and we'll just keep it as simple and sweet as that. Give me the Mariners here, -158 on the money line. Next one up, St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Angels. Cardinals have been one of the hotter teams in the MLB, 51 wins, 49 losses. But look, the Angels have heated up here recently over the last 10 games, +1 on the run differential to a very good offense in the Cardinals. I believe Reed Detmers, he is a streaky pitcher, but he did show us really good stuff in his last outing. 0 earned runs, has played well. His ERA has trended in the wrong direction over the last 5. He did have a couple of those rough starts. McGreevy, on the other hand, is a ground ball professional. He just finds a way to get guys to ground out. He doesn't have high strikeout stuff, doesn't give up a ton of earned runs. I think this is a closer game, but I believe the Angels can get this done. Their bats have been heating up here recently as well. I think the value is there at -122. This isn't a favorite play of mine on the board, but the edge for Blowout Alert does support the data there behind it. And I do think that if you go over here and just look at the pitching matchup, Detmers, better strikeout stuff, doesn't give up a lot of home runs, but obviously McGreevy, we do know, has the better ERA, has the better whip as well, but just slightly. I just think that these 2 pitchers, there's not a huge edge here, but I would give it just slightly to Reed Detmers just because he has significant strikeout stuff. So give me Detmers backed by the Angels bats tomorrow, and we'll keep this thing moving. All right. Next one up, Phillies, Dodgers. Another play of mine I'm not a huge fan of because we got 2 really bad pitchers on the mound. Eric Lauer, he has played a lot better here recently. 3 earned runs in his last 2 starts, and before that gave up 0. But Nola has been a guy who has just been getting peppered all season long. Look, we went against Nola here, or we went with Nola. We rode with Nola in his last start, and he took a loss for us. He's not a guy I can back consistently. He's just a guy I don't want any parts of. We backed him up when they played Christian Scott and the Mets. Mets beat up on the Phillies that day. Nola's just a very hittable pitcher. I think you don't want to be a hittable pitcher, especially a righty, against this Dodgers lineup. Eric Lauer is also a lefty. One of my rules all season long is when you face a lefty and it's against the Phillies, they haven't hit lefties well all season long. We have enough data to show that. I believe that the Dodgers can get this done. -112 is great value for the defending World Series champs. I also think this is another great look at a first 5 inning over total. So if you guys wanted to give a look at the first 5 innings, give a look at the over total, because both of these guys can give up some runs. So I think this is another spot where you would want to give a look at that first 5 innings, and give me the Dodgers here on the money line. All right, next one up, Twins taking on the Guardians. Another spot where you want to look at the over. I like the full game over here, but not only on that one, I like the first 5 innings. Bailey over and Slade have both been getting hit the last couple of games. As you can see, Slade Kachoni has given up 6 hits, 9 hits, overall 15 hits in his last 2 games, combined 8 earned runs. That's not really respectable against a team that's actually hit the ball pretty well here over the last month. There is a run differential to Cleveland at +3.5 over the last 10 games. But Bailey Ober, man, Bailey Ober is another guy who gets got every single game. You know, and out of his last 10, he's only had 1 outing where he gave up 0 earned runs. I don't think that he's going to get through the first 5 innings without at least giving up 2. And I think Slade's going to give you another 3 to 4. So go ahead and give me the Cleveland Guardians here and the Twins to go over the game total, and give it a look at the first 5 innings as well. I think they have that price right around 4.5. All right, guys, next one up, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Yankees. I said the first game of the day was a little bit harder to call in this doubleheader. I think the second one, I want to lean here towards the money line on the Pirates, if not minus 132. Give me a 1.5 or run and a half, I should say, in my pocket. Plus 1.5 at minus 132 is great value. You never know if these games could finish out 5-6. The better hitting team right now is Pittsburgh. They've hit righties really well, but they're taking on a lefty in Max Fried. I think that's the only disadvantage for this Pirates team. But once again, Max Fried hasn't been anything special his last 3 starts, giving up 3, 5, and 3 on the earned runs. That's 11 earned runs in his last 3 starts. Bubba Chandler as well hasn't been that respectable. He gave up 2 in his last start and then a combined 9 in the 2 previous before that. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I'd give a look at the over total as well as the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5 on the run line. I think that they can keep this thing close. They can find some runs late. Give me the Pirates in this one. All right, guys, Tampa Bay Rays, this was our play of the day today, and we're moving on into taking the Rays again. I'm going to back them at minus 104 with Griffin Jax. He hasn't been the same pitcher that we saw in the month of June and May, but once again, Griffin Jax just has more of a pedigree than Braden Fisher at this point. I can't get behind Braden Fisher. I think that the edge does go to the Tampa Bay Rays. I disagree just ever so slightly with Blowout Alert. I know that Toronto technically does have a better fit, but it's ever so slightly. For me, it's not enough to really move the needle that much for me. I think that I want to be on the side with the better offense with Tampa Bay Rays, more home run power in this lineup, a team that has shown us that they don't go cold with the bats as often as the Toronto Blue Jays do. The Blue Jays do go cold too often. You see a lot of the top hitters in their order not get hits, have multiple strikeout games. For me, this is a game where I don't really want to be on any total side, over or under. I think I'd rather just play the Tampa Bay Rays on the money line here and trust that the better offense gets it done against a pitcher that has his moments, hot and cold. But for me, he's a rotational pitcher in a starting role here. He's only going to give you a couple innings at most. And I just don't think I can get behind it with Griffin Jax and this Tampa Bay's Rays team against the Toronto Blue Jays offense. So give me the Rays here, minus 104 on the money line. Next one up, Boston Red Sox taking on the Orioles. We got Jake Bennett on the mound. This dude was a stud in his last outing. Only 0 earned runs, only 1 hit, 6 innings pitched. And that was against the Tampa Bay Rays, a really good offense that we just talked about. It's looking like it's going to be Dean Kremer on the mound. And Dean Kremer hasn't been anything special, but he hasn't been poor either. He hasn't given up a ton of earned runs, keeping most of the time around a 2 earned run average in his starts. He does carry a 4.15, but he's been trending in a better direction over his last couple games. For me, though, this team here, Boston, they are on a significant win streak, 14. I want to be on that side of things with the run differential at +2. I think that they can get to the Orioles, and the Orioles bats have been streaky all year. We don't know what we're going to get out of them. Are they going to crush the ball, or are they going to strike out a lot? That's kind of been the variable with them. They're either hot or they're cold. They just haven't been consistent enough for me. This Red Sox team, I think they notch another win tomorrow. Give me the Red Sox at minus 148. Next one up, we got the Padres taking on the Atlanta Braves, where the Atlanta Braves took a bad L today. I don't think it gets any easier with Michael King on the mound. He has played better over his last 3 starts. He has not been a good pitcher this season, not the Michael King that we know. We're still waiting to see who the starting pitcher for the Braves is going to be. But for me, right now, there's too much value at plus 100. Unless it's one of their aces, unless it's Elder, unless it's Sale, which Sale just pitched the other day, it's not going to be him. I would have to be on the Padres here. I think the Padres are hitting the ball a little bit better. Granted, they are in Truist, where when they go on the road, they don't hit it as well. But give me the Padres here, plus 100 on the money line. There's good value there, especially in a close game with the Padres having such a good bullpen. I think plus money value is the side I want to be on in this one, especially in a 50-50 game where the engine edge isn't leading a side yet. But that is also because we don't have the data for who is pitching for the Braves tomorrow. But for me at this moment, plus 100, I'll back Michael King to continue playing better and continue to move forward. Like I said about a month ago when he took on the Braves, there was a get-right spot. a team that wasn't hitting righties well, a team that was performing in every bottom of the statistical metrics in the month of June, and he did just that. We got a win. It was a 1-0 win. It wasn't pretty because the Padres bats haven't been there. So for me, in a coin flip game, plus money, it's going to be the Padres. We'll keep it moving. All right, guys, next one up, Detroit Tigers take on the Chicago Cubs. Now, this was a great look for us and a great read for us today. Kind of jumped off the paper at us. But today we got Montero on the mound, who's played really, really well over his last couple starts. And we just take a jump on in here and take a look at what he's done, man. He gets you about 5 strikeouts a game, not always, somewhere between 3 to 5. Doesn't give up a ton of earned runs, gets you anywhere between 2 to 3 innings. So this is going to be a bullpen game, in my opinion, a little bit earlier for the Tigers. Here with the Cubs, Rhea gives you much more production, gets deeper into the ball games, 5-6 innings, doesn't have great strikeout stuff, but he does give up some earned runs, 2 to 3 of them. I think this is a much closer game than comfort. But for me today, it's going to be the Detroit Tigers. I think that the sharp money signal here shows us that sharp money's flowing in. It backs the Detroit line at minus 108. It also shows us the consensus across the books. This is a coin flip game. Should be priced right around minus 110 on both sides. I think that the better bats are the Detroit Tigers over the course of the season. The Chicago Cubs have heated up very well over the last 10 games, but just not enough. It's only a plus 1.5 on the run differential. For me, I think Montero can keep these Cubs off the board for a couple innings, allow some time for the Tigers to get to work, drive in some runs. Give me the Tigers here on the money line at minus 108. All right, guys, we got the next one up here. Chicago White Sox taking on the Texas Rangers, where you're going to have Cal Quantrill on the mound. And Quantrill's ass, man. You know, I believed in him in his last start just the other day against Atlanta, and Atlanta peppered the hell out of him. He's just not a good pitcher at this point in his career. I can't continue to back him. I don't want to be on that side. There's just guys that are just easier to fade. I think Quantrill's one of those guys. Anthony Kay is decent. I know he doesn't play as good on the road as he does at home. He's definitely a home dependent starting pitcher, but Anthony Kay has played well all season long. He hasn't shown me that he's got a ton of regression coming. I think he's going to kind of carry that, sub 5 ERA rest of the year. I think he's going to give up 1 or 2 earned runs, but for the most part, the Chicago's white team has a dangerous offense. They have a plus 4.5 on the run differential. I want this White Sox offense on my side, on my bet, when they're facing a guy like Cal Quantrill. Give me the White Sox here. I'm going to fade the blowout alert here with the 12-point engine edge to the Texas Rangers. All right, guys, next one up here, and it's the last one of the night. We've got Peter Lambert, who's been a phenomenal pitcher this season, taking on Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara plays really well at home. On the road, he's so-so. As we saw in his Coors Field start, gave up 5 earned runs, but then back in Miami, only 1 earned run. You don't know what you're going to get with him. He's one of these guys I kind of compare to Miles Mikolas a little bit. Obviously, a cut. He's a little bit better of a cut than Mikolas. Cut from a different cloth, I should say. I wouldn't compare him fully, but what I mean by that is you don't know if you're going to get one of these yellow 1-2 earned run outings, or you're going to get 3, 4, 5, 6 earned runs given up by Alcantara. It just goes back and forth. You don't know if he's going to keep it low or if he's going to get peppered and give up a lot. So for me, Peter Lambert, I know what I'm going to get out of him. He doesn't give up a lot of earned runs. He gives you anywhere between 5 to 6 innings. Doesn't have crazy strikeout stuff, but can get some bats to whiff at the pitch. And I just trust this Astros offense much more than I do the Miami Marlins against a decent pitcher. So give me the Houston Astros tomorrow at minus 122. And yeah, that's where we'll go. That's the show. We'll keep it moving. And before we wrap up, guys, I did just want to point out one more time, today's show is brought to you by Novig. Use code word on the ball. Sign up today. Spend 5, get 50. Take advantage of those bonus bets. And we'll review the slate one last time here. We'll pull up the radar. So guys, we made an adjustment to the radar, and what I'm going to share with you is you can come down here and create something and say parlay 3, or parlay, we'll just put parlay 2, right? And then you can go over here to your default, all the plays you built, all the plays that you like, just click move, highlight those plays, and then click on move, go over here, and then go to parlay 2, all right? And then just move it right on in there, and now you've got these plays here on the parlay. This isn't the parlay I'm giving you. I made this one here for you guys. It's going to be a hitting parlay. It's going to be Chase DeLauder for a hit, and then Valdez for the Pirates for a hit. So you can take either of those guys tomorrow. Valdez, I think he stands a little bit better of a chance in that second game when he is facing Max Fried. But if you wanted to take Garrett Cole in that first game, the Pirates do hit righties a little bit better than they hit the lefty. So Valdez is probably a better look, honestly, in that first game than the second game, just because the Pirates haven't showed us they hit lefties consistently enough. But for sure, against Garrett Cole and a righty, I think Valdez can find a hit. So I would play him in that first game. And if you did want to double back on the second game, I don't hate it as well. He's definitely going to get some hits tomorrow. And then Chase DeLauder, he's a good look as well in his matchup playing against Bailey Ober. So I truly believe that's a good two-leg right there for a hitter parlay. Should come right around plus money, plus 102, plus 100, maybe minus 105. Give it a look, guys. All right, but just the default here, where we kind of went through the slate and gave you everything, just to give you a quick recap. Houston Astros on the money line, Chicago White Sox on the money line, Detroit Tigers on the money line, San Diego Padres on the money line, Boston Red Sox money line, Tampa Bay Rays on the money line, Oakland A's in Arizona getting a win against Merrill Kelly on the money line. Boston Red Sox, we covered that already. We're going to take that one off. Milwaukee Brewers taking on the New York Mets. They're at home in Milwaukee. Give me the Brewers on the money line. I do think that'll be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout winner, but I will lean Brewers money line. San Francisco Giants taking on the Royals. Lattimore-Roop's got to step up at some point. This is the perfect spot for him to do it. He's just got to keep these Royals bats off the board, and the Giants got to back him up with some run support. Give me the Giants here on the money line. We talked about a couple overs today. I think the Minnesota-Cleveland over is definitely an easy and good look. So take a look at that, as well as the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Phillies for the full game over, as well as the first 5 innings. Seattle Mariners on the money line, Angels on the money line, and then Washington Nationals should be able to get it done against Gabriel Hughes. Give me the Washington Nationals at Coors. Those bats, that offense, I trust them a lot. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That's the show. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe. And always feel free to drop a comment on what you like, who sold you today, who absolutely crushed it for you today. And, man, I'm loving the feedback I'm getting. Had a couple clients in the Instagram tell me they used some reads from Blowout Alert Cash today. And, guys, man, we're making huge changes in this app over the course of the next couple weeks, adding some nice features like chat features, as well as that parlay builder that's only going to get better. Come here, create a new case. You can click on move and then just highlight these here. And then you can move them on into that case, man. Simple as that. So let's see what we can do tomorrow, what damage we can cook up. We had a great MLB slate today. If you want those premium plays, you know where to find them in the descriptions tab. Until next time, I'll see you later. You know what it is. Book the one way.